Hey guys, I hope you're hungry. Welcome back to War Stories here on the Phil Lessons channel. Yes, War Stories. Remember the show, the internet times I used to do? Okay, so this is going to be a regular war story. I didn't want to do another State of Full Instance because I feel like I use that as a crutch when I just don't have what I want to do for an episode. Like I don't have a good theme in mind, and I do have a pretty good one this time. But there is some housekeeping that I want to do. So first of all, I want to apologize. So basically, ever since I started my channel, I had about a month of doing 5 episodes a week. But I expanded to the weekends fairly early on, and my sign-off on almost every single episode I've ever done has been a video every single day. I have not kept to that for a few months now, and I'm not happy about that. I feel like I'm better than that. I'm disappointed in myself that I'm not keeping to the goals I've set for myself. And I know, I say I'm disappointed and I'm better than that. It was never a choice. Maybe that's not true. It was very rarely, if ever, a choice where I said, you know what, I just don't feel like recording today. Because that was something that I had, in the back of my head when I first started the channel, is I never wanted it to be a chore. I never wanted to feel like I needed to record. So I have had days, quite rarely, but where I've said, you know what, I need episodes, but I just don't want to record today, so we're just not going to have an episode. But the vast majority has been, I just do not have the time to record. I haven't even played video games. I beat Breath of the Wild and loved it, but Dishonored 2 I got, and I played the first 2 levels. I haven't touched it since. I got Horizon, and I haven't touched that since. But that was, of course, because of Breath of the Wild a good bit too. But I got Final Fantasy 15 and haven't even opened it from the shrink wrap, as far as I know. Certainly haven't installed it. So I just haven't had time for games, and millions are dead from that orbital strike. So I just have not had time. My work has been busy and unpredictable, and that's just the situation I've been in, just in a nutshell. So I will continue to say a video every single day. That's my goal, and I will stick to it as much as I can. Well, maybe not. That is my goal, and I will try to stick to it as much as I can. But let me say this. I think my new thing is going to be 6 videos a week. And try to not miss an episode, more than 1 episode in a week's time. And that way it's more something that I feel like I can keep to. That way I have a built-in, one day, but I do want to stick to it. And when I feel like, once I'm back to, because I had months and months and months, almost my first full year of doing a channel, I didn't miss a single upload. And even now, I've only probably missed maybe 15 or 20 in the whole lifetime of my channel. So it still is not awful, but it's just not what I have said I was gonna do. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here. So 6 videos a week is what is my new I don't know, guarantee, or that's what I want to do. That's what I feel more comfortable promising. 6 videos a week. So that being said, today's war story topic is a music CD for the first time. I love music. You may or may not know, I am I am by definition only a professional musician, as in that I have been paid to perform and to instruct. I majored in saxophone performance at a school of music. I have done gigs before. I've been in larger ensembles before in a paying capacity. I've done open mic nights. I've taught lessons. Music for a long time I thought was going to be my career, and it hasn't panned out like that so far. I think a lot of it is just because I don't have the passion for it. I once did, but I still love. I would say I don't have the passion for performing that I once did, but but my passion for music itself has not diminished at all. My ultimate dream job would be to write the scores for movies or video games or even a TV show. I still love how music can add to a scene or to a game, or whatever the case may be. So I haven't lost my passion for music. But this is going to be the first time I've talked about an album on the channel. The album in question is Linkin Park's One More Light. So Linkin Park kind of has a bad rap, I think. They're very much, for better or for worse, associated with their first album, Hybrid Theory, which came out in 1999. I was introduced to them by my sister. She's never actually appeared on the channel. I mentioned her a few times here and there. But she was the source of a lot of my early music influences. Like, for example, I was a really big fan of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys when she was. 98 Degrees, listen to them some. But she introduced me to Linkin Park, and I've loved them my whole life. And I've often felt, with a few exceptions here and there, that they have evolved and grown up as I have. Their sounds have adapted with the times. Starting from, the very, pretty hard, especially by their later standards, Hybrid Theory, to, the more nu metal sound of their follow-up Meteora. They did a lot of electronic experimentation with Reanimation. They partnered up with Jay-Z and Collision Course. Like, they have expanded and evolved their music a lot. And if you have listened to or heard anything about One More Light, you know the reason I mention that, and that is because One More Light, a review, I think it was for, it might have even been Rolling Stone. It was like a big name reviewer said that this album leaves rock behind. Linkin Park has left rock behind with One More Light. And I think that's true. It is very pop influenced, electronic influenced. And the first time I listened to it, I didn't like it at all. I thought, well, so I have no problem with a band moving outside their general purview. In fact, who are we? Like, how dare you pigeonhole an artist, especially since Hybrid Theory was 1999, almost 20 years ago. Like, you expect them to make the same sort of music, the same sort of emotion, the same sort of instrumentation, and the same sort of feeling. Like, for 20 years? No, that's awful. Nobody should have to live like that. So, I totally think that they should continue to adapt and evolve their music. And that's one reason why I think I've come to appreciate the album a lot more. I've liked it more each time I've listened to it. Not every song is a winner. I think Heavy was the title track. I didn't really like it at first, but it's definitely grown on me. Really, the whole album, it's jarring, and I think that was why I had such a negative reaction at first. And I would encourage you, if you get the opportunity to listen to it 2 or 3 times before you really make any judgments, because there's a lot of heart in the music, and they're growing up. Like, I mean, it's just like when I was a teenager, I wanted to scream about "Shut Up When I'm Talking to You," and the wounds that are crawling in my skin that I'll never heal. Like, they were angsty, but now they're grown men. They're like in their third. I think some of them are pushing 40 at this, but they've got to be, and they have children, they have families. Like, they don't want to be screaming at the world anymore because they've had success for 20 years. I think it's awful to dismiss it for having such a lighter tone and feel. And they still have some heavier stuff. There's still one song with Mike Shinoda rapping "Good Goodbye." I think that one's really good. It has some featured vocalists or rappers, I guess, that I think are really good. It's just like, I like that it can have a happier message. It's like the happy ending to the story of Linkin Park. And and some of it is not. It's definitely like if you were hearing them for the first time and you're putting them against I don't know, 21 Pilots or whoever is a big nowadays, like it's not. It sounds very similar. It definitely is not as unique and exciting, especially for a band that, like it or not, admit it or not, was revolutionary. Like, one of the leading nu metal bands in the world. Like, if not just because of their popularity, because of their impact. Linkin Park has influenced a lot of musicians, and their sound has influenced other bands. So they have a somewhat generic pop sound, especially compared to their interesting and forward-thinking and forward-looking heavy rock metal sound that we are used to. But, and this, I guess, is maybe giving them too much credit, or maybe it's biased, because, like I said, one of my very favorite bands of all time, it's not a generic pop band. is Linkin Park doing this? Like, I had come full circle where when I first started, like, why is Linkin Park doing this pop music? Now it's, listen to Linkin Park do this pop music. It's the same guys and the same instrumentations, the same arrangers and DJs, like the same team, but they just have changed their sound so much. It's like, this is not a perfect metaphor, but like American Horror Story, like they use a lot of the same actors, but the feel is totally different. Like compare Freak Show to Murder House or Coven, like they're all three totally different, but they use the same pieces and they're in the same bones. Yeah, I when I was planning to do this review, I thought it was going to be very negative, but I've grown to like it a lot more, and I think it definitely deserves a chance. It has not been well reviewed. I mean, it's Linkin Park, it's still probably going to be at least gold. I can't imagine anything less. But give it a try. Whether you're a consistent fan of theirs or not, I think that's another interesting thing, is I wonder people that have previously, you know, dismissed them or not liked them because of the more, you know, like, I don't know, the cringe where, like, you just remember them as that, like, that screaming band that, like, was still, like, pretty parent-friendly and, like, you know, they built up a reputation with the sound on Hybrid Theory because that's so much better known than anything else they've done. Like, even though some of their best songs came later, like, their gems on, 1,000 Suns, Meteora to me is just as good as their debut album, or at least close to it. They have stayed a consistently strong band, but I'm interested if, like, longtime fans, I think you'll be turned off at first, but I would encourage you to give it another listen. And if you have never listened to them before, or if, I'm sorry, if like I say, you know, some of their, you know, earlier, their sophomoric efforts you saw as sophomoric, you know, maybe give them a try, because it could be something different. Not pay, you know, I feel like I'm kind of shilling for them, and I do admit my bias up front of loving them a lot, but as someone who did not care for the album at all the first time I listened to it, I definitely think give One More Light a try. Approach it with an open mind, and just consider what it means to the artist that made it, because that's kind of the point of art at the end of the day. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's War Story. There are War Stories like it scheduled every Tuesday and Thursday. And if you didn't, just stay tuned to the Full Instance channel. Subscribe so you don't miss any videos. We try to keep 6 videos coming every single week. I don't know about you guys, but I'm full.